Hi there, it's Angeline here, AngelineSims here, and we are doing another speed build. So we're here in this beautiful town with like phenomenal scenery. I just love building in places that have like the prettiest of scenery. And this place has like lots of water, and this is one of my favorite lots in this town. This one and the one next to it. The one next to it is a lot larger, but I didn't want to build on such a large lot, especially if we're building. Today's build is a countryside church. So we're here in Newcrest building our countryside church. We're building it on this lot. I think it's 30 by 40 size lot. And it's back towards the water. And I figured that would be like a phenomenal location between the church and the playground for there to, I mean, between the two playgrounds for there to be a beautiful church, and we're here getting our build on. So I decided to go with this look. I call it the countryside church because, I live in a city, and a lot of times you never, well, not a lot of times, their churches don't look like this in the city. There are tons of buildings and tall structures near it. So they barely get space to kind of like just spread out. It's not super large, it's not super modern. It's just, spread out on its own size property. And I thought this is what I usually see, like if I'm going visiting in other states where this is what it looks like. So I decided that this is the look I was going to go for here. So it's a very to the point, simple look. Very, it's not a complex building. Of course, every church has to have an office. The regular sections, the platform, the office, the sound room, the bathrooms, those type of things. And this one, they're included here. And we're going to add a few more fun areas as well. So we're here building our countryside church, and getting the platform and the stage area set up. And a lot of times when I leave the state and I go to other states, I went to a funeral in another state the other day, and the setup of the church was very like smooth, very simple. As again, you walk in the front door. It's not a lot of walking around before you get to the sanctuary. The setup for the platform is nice and smooth and clean. So that's kind of the look I was going for. Excuse me. I'm a little stuffy today. We got super warm weather, but it's still like a sudden weather change. As you may have noticed, a little earlier, we had a glass roof going on there. So we're gonna have something on the upstairs and have a little. I was thinking perhaps maybe we could do some type of social area on an upstairs section of the church. So since the side of the roof had those gable roofs, I was like, we needed to get light in somehow. So we got some light in, and we got our gabled roofs set up um, on the side. And now we're working on the sanctuary. I was thinking about the seating. I'm like, you have to have comfortable seating for many hours of church. So, and I wanted to do seating that I kind of never saw before. And so I figured, oh, this one isn't, it doesn't have I wanted seating that wasn't like, didn't have any, that looked custom, but wasn't custom content. So that's what I was going for. I never used custom content. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna be brave and try to use it. Maybe one day I'll get to try to use it. I used it before once, and then when there was an upgrade, I had to do so much other things, and I was like, oh, the hassle. I didn't have time for the hassle of doing it. So I just was like, whatever. So in replace of that, I tried to make my own different looking chairs. Try to be creative and make some chairs. So back there we have our sound room, our engineering room in the church. That's always important, or even an engineering section to organize the sound and the speakers that come through the sanctuary. And any streaming, nowadays we do live streaming from church because since the pandemic has happened, or even before that, people not only they streamed, but they put church on TV for those who aren't able to come out. So there's usually a sound room, And even without having a pandemic or anything, we would just have a sound room to make sure the sound, the music, and everything is instrumentally comforting when you're in the sanctuary. So here we're working on all the tech for the music room. So we have our sound, any music that's going to be playing, any like audio, computers, stuff for streaming, laptops, again, all that stuff set up into the church sound room to fix up all the audio, any tracks that's going to be playing throughout the service. So we have all that set up in the sound room here. And this is our little control room from there. I know, I know to me it's kind of important to have, but I think it's cool. Uh a lot of people don't always see and know that this is going on, but it's cool. Sometimes it's in a room, sometimes they have it just in the back. Some churches have like on the balcony. I know I've been to churches where they've had what was it? They had the actual instruments in the back on the balcony to create great sound, great acoustics. So this is just the control center for streaming, and you have a digital view as well as a live view to get that two-way mirror in there. So you can kind of see out and see what's going on in the sanctuary or during the service. So as you can see here, we have this room, our sound room fully set up. We have screens, we have tablets, we have every electronic possibly that could be used. And then now we're here working, getting the platform together. So I just made it simple: piano, keyboard, guitar, simple music section with our stand place for our platform and our seating area for anyone who's going to be talking for the day, or the leadership to sit on the platform. So I kept this a very simple platform, without too much updates. As you can see, the chairs now are also excuse me, the chairs are also done as well. All right, so we have added those steps in, and now we're working on outside of the sanctuary because there's a church and then there's all the facilities attached to the church. So we have our inside platform set up. We're working on our bathrooms. We have our bathrooms over here. Try to make it as comfortable and zen as possible in our bathroom section. So we have our bathroom area that we set up, one on each side. And then we are getting that organized for the people who are coming to the church because of course they have to be able to go to the bathroom during service. You can't forget that. So I went for a more zen kind of relaxed look in the sanctuary. And in the entryway. And because I didn't want people to get like lost when they come out of church, between church and the bathroom or from the entry to the bathroom. And then we're just going to do some decor in the entryway. I've also set up the conference room for any midweek conference. Well, church midweek conference means something different, but any meetings that the board or anyone at the church, any church business that needs to be taken care of. So we set up the conference room. Well, we didn't really set it up. I outlined a space for the conference room and then an office for the pastor. So right now we're just creating a nice, comfortable space, a nice, comfortable entryway at the entry of the sanctuary or the entry of the building so people can come in, before they start going for service. Newcrest is a place of many seasons, so this is also a good place to come. You first walk in, you want to take off your shoes, switch shoes, take off your rain gear, get more comfortable. So this is our beautiful entryway that we're building to make sure that everyone is comfortable, when they first walk in. Nice fountain. I think fountains are relaxing to have that nice running water. You walk in the door, it's all cold and whatever, whatever the weather is outside, you come into a nice, cool, relaxed atmosphere. So I think like the running water and the fountains always add and give good relaxed ambience, especially when walking into a church setting. So we're here just adding some plants and just making it just a nice, comfortable place for when people walk in. Add some chairs just to get everyone nice and comfortable. when they enter in this section. Next, we're going to be looking at the rest of the church. As you can see, it's an open area that leads straight to upstairs. And then we have our conference room. And in our conference room, we have, like, I think our conference room leads right into the pastor's office. So you have to like walk through the conference room to get to the pastor's office. And I thought that was pretty cool because it's, public space that people can just join in and visit. So I went for a little modern looking conference room. Of course, that's like one of my favorite tables. I love the glass in the middle. I think it looks classic to have the wood and comforting to have the wood. So it's not as sharp as an all glass table, but it has that modern look. So it has a little bit of glass in it. I think it's very beautiful to have that glass center out the table, but a good amount of wood in it. It's one of my favorite, and I would say most used tables here. So you see it a lot. I love it for a conference table and for a large dining room table. Like if I wanted to make it like super long, I love to use that table as well. So we're just getting some chairs and set up in the conference room for any type of meetings or anything that any type of board meetings that may be had in the church or any type of, gatherings that people may have. So we're just getting the conference room. We're keeping it simple, clean. This is a shared conference room, a community space, an area for people to come and, discuss the next steps in the organization. I really like that the modern table. And now that I'm looking at, there was room for me to put if I just moved the door open, but I ended up going with this one. Which is also the same color scheme that we have going on in here in this room. So we're here getting it kind of decorated. I figured we could put some books, some old records, leaving them in the the office. I feel like this is an extension of the pastor's office. Um, and also in the smaller part or the more officey section of the office, I feel that they would have more items that would look um be more personable to the pastor. Whereas here, they'll have more of like storage or records and stuff like that can be accessed by anyone on the board or, an administration at the organization. So here we are, went with a kind of a nicer looking wall treatment. I thought it would be cool to have the pattern and design on it. Just getting some more clutter in there because um, churches they have to keep their records or any type of information, old bulletins, old things in the, records. What do you call it again? I'm trying to think of other items people save in the church that's not digital. So I like those, and we've been putting there for some clutter. So now we're working on the pastor's office or the leadership office, and we are putting together. I decided to go for a different look. A lot of times, if I'm making an office, they all look the same. So every time I try to push myself to be a little more creative, not necessarily creative, just change up what the office needs to look like. Everyone can't have exactly the same office. So I try to switch it up once in a while. I figured people with different personalities have different offices. And so I'm putting together this office. Again, it's not super flashy. It has this back door that leads to the back area. The back area is also where we're going to be hosting events or as an event space. I decided because I was like, oh, it's so empty in the back area. It was so cool to put some event space back there. So the door directly from the pastor's office to the event space, and then directly from the sanctuary to the event space. So you can go from either way to access the event space in the back. So here we're just setting up, put a little tray. This is actually a side table. It's labeled as a side table, but I feel like it's cool for, you push in, any food items or computer items and those type of things on the tray. So I always like that. I was like that. I think it's cool to be in the office. It's like put their lunch there. So here we are. I put some chairs for if someone comes to visit the pastor, they can sit down, they can talk to him talk to him and share whatever they would like to talk about, or they can also have he can sit here and work on anything he needs to work on the computer, maybe do some studies, review last week's message, that type of information. Um, so I have that set up here. So next we are just getting a bathroom together. I think a bathroom is just cool and easy. I always try to put in the pastor's bathroom, a bathroom with a shower. Reason being is because a lot of times people come to church earlier to do things that, the leadership would come to church earlier, make sure things are taken care of, and not all the things are like in church. If there's a leak, then he's going to be there with, or he or she will be there with the plumber, or if there's the grass needs to be done, or just other random stuff that sometimes needs to be taken care of when you're taking care of a building, as well as whether it's a church or whatever the building is, there's building upkeep. So as sometimes I've tried to keep the pastor's office with like a shower so they don't have to like go home, rechange, and then come back to the sanctuary if there's any event or anything coming up. So even if there was like a eating event or something that's happening upstairs, not necessarily has to do in the sanctuary, and people are like helping set up, they're helping with the cooking, the catering, he has to be there, or he or she or whoever, they have to be there to have stuff open for them, have the place, open for caterer or whoever, they would have to then, you know, probably don't, they would come probably early, have the doors open. And then if they have to attend the event, it doesn't make sense for them to go home and change their clothes, everything. So I always try to put like a shower area or something to make it easier and accessible for if they're gonna have a whole day or longer day or eventful day at the building. Because it's more than just, oh, you're walking, you say what you have to say, and then you leave. There's sometimes other things happen. If there's a wedding, which definitely this place is set up to have. If there's a wedding or something, it might be an all day event. And there's usually a lot of setup that comes with it, which is very individual to the person who is getting married. So I always keep a shower in the office for that reason. So here we are in upstairs, the fellowship area. Again, this is, if there's like a catering hall or if there's any type of event going on, this is where the people can come after to, you know, have lunch or have any type of fellowship after the fact. So we have the kitchen area and the upstairs bathroom all set up here. I wanted to keep a bathroom up here because I was like, oh, it would be like hard or difficult if people had to go all the way downstairs if there's an event to go when they could just be go right here to the it's next to the event space, especially people who are like working in the kitchen. That would just be inconvenient for them. They're cooking in the kitchen, they're reheating, they're setting up after caterers, and then they have to go all the way downstairs to go. Of course, it occurred to me that we can't have a clear door. Even though this one is lightly transparent, but I feel like it lets light in, not visuals in. Oh yeah, can't have a clear door, so I had to switch the door real quick to a different one. So we're here setting up this bathroom. Of course, this one doesn't have a shower. This is just a quick, half bath with the general stuff. So we're here setting up our kitchen area, yeah, slash half bath kind of catering area. I wanted to put something nice, some nice decor in there. Figured a nice fish tank could just, have some life, something pretty to look at. If anyone was having an event here, whatever the event, a fish tank is always nice decor. I also went with the red table. I figured those cloths make the table like really pop. I thought it was so cool. So I was like, let's try something different. And now we're gonna get these tables kind of organized. I put the menu up in the kitchen. I knew that I wanted to use it, but I was like, oh, I didn't want, once I found it, I didn't want to lose it. And as you can see, we have the windows, the two circular windows. I thought they'd just bring a sense of elegance to the space, as well as the light from the roofs. So I mean the glass roof. So the skylight, that's the proper term. I was like, whoa. Well, the skylight I put up there because as you can see, there's not much space for windows. I also put this area here in case people want to be seated. If they have an event that needs people to be seated, I made sure they had that table there. So here I decided to put an outdoor wedding space because we have our event thing. And let's have a nice little outdoor wedding space. Something simple and something to kind of bring light to that really beautiful background. That background was phenomenal. When I saw it, I was like, wow, it's so breathtaking. I really liked it. And I just thought it would be nice to sit there, and look at the plants and everything and really take in the beautiful background as people were able to have their ceremonies. So it's just a nice place to kind of sit out, I guess, in times where there's not any event such as a wedding going on, that we can also have other events back here facing the water. But I just thought this was like really pretty, and even at night with those curtain things that light up, I don't know what they're called. That light up and bring the light in from above. I just thought it was just a beautiful scenery and just a beautiful place to have a wedding because it just I didn't want to like block off the view from the backyard straight to the waterfront and anything that could be a nice waterfront event. So we're here putting the finishing touches on it. I want to thank you today for joining me to watch this to joining me on this build. So I built this wonderful countryside church. It's available on the gallery at AngelineSims if you for you to download. Again, they have this video. None of my videos actually have any CC in them. I thank you very much for joining and watching, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye for now.